Alrighty, today we're going to be playing Mac games at a resolution of 4K and in many cases hitting around 60 frames per second. Now this is all thanks to the Blackmagic eGPU, which is being run through a 13-inch 2018 MacBook Pro and an LG monitor. For reference, here we have the newly released Black Ops 3 on Mac, and it's running at 4K and hitting about 60 frames on average. And it works wonderfully, and it just is gorgeous to look at. But I'm really impressed that in the first case that this is able to run at 4K, high settings with 60 frames. I was really not expecting it to be able to achieve this, but it is. The Blackmagic eGPU is pretty powerful. It is quite expensive, but it does deliver on its promise of 4K in this instance. So yeah, Black Ops 4 runs really nicely here. I haven't tested multiplayer, but this is just the campaign, but so far it's really good. So yeah, here are the settings, 4K and high. Next game. All right, so here we have the newly released racing game for Mac, Dirt 4, which once again is running at 4K and is hitting around 50 frames per second and is running at the high preset. And it is running like a charm and it looks gorgeous here. Feral have done a really good job optimizing this game. It's not officially supported for eGPUs, keep that in mind, but it will still see a boost in performance by this eGPU. And because of the eGPU, we are able to run this game at 4K with a pretty nice frame rate. This monitor is 32-inch, so there's a lot of screen real estate to work with here. Now, the refresh rate here is 60, it's not 120 Hertz, but in my opinion, I'm perfectly fine with 60 Hertz. I mean, 120 Hertz is good for FPS games, but I'm not complaining. That is Dirt 4 and it runs really nice at 4K. Third game here is Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is officially supported by eGPUs, unlike Dirt 4. Now, this game is really demanding, and we are running it at a resolution of 4K. Yep, 3840 by 2160. We have VSync on, and our graphics is on high. So let's see how it goes here. Based on my previous testings, I believe it was pretty decent, but we'll see how it goes. Alrighty, so here we are in the benchmark and we are getting about 60 frames per second on average, but it probably will dip down in the next parts of this benchmark as it goes through different environments. But do keep in mind that this is all running on a 13-inch MacBook Pro, which without the eGPU has integrated graphics. So from going from integrated graphics to this AMD GPU, allows you to play in 4K because with the integrated graphics, you wouldn't be able to play at this resolution. So at the moment, we are getting about 36 FPS, which is pretty decent, but we'll come back when it gets to the end of the benchmark. Okay, so here it is ending right now, and we are getting an average FPS of 42. So that is 42 frames per second at 4K, which isn't outstanding, but it's pretty dang nice, and that is at the high quality preset. So you could lower it to medium and you could get closer to, I don't know, 60 frames. But that's pretty good. Okay, so here we have Definity Original Sin 2. Now this is another game that is officially supported by eGPUs, as the developers have stated this to me and basically just to anyone. And it was announced when they officially released this game. So we are getting right now about an average FPS of 47, 45, which is pretty decent. But if we do lower the settings, because right now we are playing at high, we will try medium, and then we should get 60 FPS. So medium is still really, it's perfectly fine, but to be able to play at 60 FPS is really good achievement. In my opinion anyway. Apologies, I forgot to mention Fortnite on the shoot, so I am talking about it now in the recording booth. Anyways, I can play it at a resolution of 4K and I'm getting around somewhere in the 50 to 60 frames per second, and it runs really nicely here. And I was going to show you the settings. but then I got shot in the face and died. So then I went to the home screen and here are the settings. So yep, 4K, and we are playing at high, and the 3D resolution has to be about 80% in order to get a decent frame rate. But yeah, one runs really nicely. Okay, so our last game here is Book of the Dead, which is a free interactive demo by Unity. Now this game can be used to benchmark the graphics potential offered by your Mac. Now in this instance, we are running this game at 4K and we are getting around 30 to 40 frames per second, which isn't amazing, but for a game of this incredible graphical fidelity, everything just is so on point and the detail in this game is incredible. What is amazing about this game is that everything has been individually scanned, from the trees to the grass to the rocks. They're real life textures. It's not a fully fleshed game, it's just to basically benchmark your Mac and see what it's capable of. But yeah, it runs really nice and it's powered by metal and nice. Alrighty, that is gaming on a Mac in 4K, and I'm pretty impressed with the results. Because of this eGPU, it offers the potential to game at higher resolutions, because most Macs do not have the most powerful graphics cards inbuilt, such as the integrated ones. But if you add this in, you can pretty much play games at a high resolution, a decent frame rate, and it's really nice to have that offering if you have a low-end Mac, and even a high-end Mac in many instances. But many high-end Macs, such as the iMac series, iMac Pro, they can play games, some at 4K without an eGPU. I hope this video has educated you that you can play games at 4K. If you want to continue this journey with me of Mac gaming, there are some other videos right here, and you can look at them and go on and explore more.